People say to me all the time, oh, you're, Republican and right-leaning. I go, listen, I don't own a gun. I'm not religious at all. I'm for abortion and pot smoking and everything. How right can I be?
You've put your finger on the thing that makes me so incensed about the woke and the far left, which is this, that they want to characterize people, you, me, Barry Weiss, who's a lesbian and Jewish, and things that used to be our, we need no further credentials to let you know that we are certainly not conservatives, we're not right-wingers, we're not whatever you think, and yet it's never enough for them. It's never enough that we're just not willing to go along with your insanity. That doesn't make us conservatives.
Right. No, I agree. Barry's great, and there's many people that way. And again, it's interesting because they feel compelled to put you somewhere, and if you don't conform and it doesn't work, yes, then they have an issue with it. But I think, well, first off, here's the thing. Imagine if you had to conform. I mean, imagine if COVID came around and you just had to go in.
I did.
All in on all of it.
I did have to conform. I didn't want the vaccine at all. Not that I'm against all vaccines, just I didn't think I needed that one. But I had to have it. I couldn't have continued my life.
Right.
They wouldn't have let me do the show, and I had to do it here. I did it in this room.
Well, that's basically what I'm saying. Let's talk about the vaccine. The vaccine came around and COVID came around. And I have twins, and at the time, boy, girl, with the fucking Pop-Tarts, God damn it. and they were like 14, And
14?
There were 14 at the time of COVID. And I had, at the time, elderly parents. And so people would come to me and they'd go, what about the vaccine? And I would go, well, my elderly mom and my elderly dad should get the vaccine.
Perfect.
And my kids shouldn't get the vaccine. And they go, so you're against vaccines. And it's like, can we have a little fucking nuance here, you idiots?
That is such a perfect microcosm of reasonableness to me.
Right.
Yes, 14 and 94 are different.
Yes.
And if you don't see that, you are not the science people.
No, you're actually anti-science because my 14-year-olds don't need it at all because
Not at all.
They're healthy, thin, and active, and my elderly parents do. And so that's where I come down on this. Why is that an issue? I don't even get why that's even a thing. Why would you even say anything about it?
No, it's like the perfect example to prove why we, I say this like we should, like we're going to do anything I say we should, but we should come to the middle where there is always, to literally every problem that seems so intractable, there really is some pretty easy, if people would just stop being so extreme, middle ground, grand bargain. We used to have grand bargains in this country where each side would come to the table and they would understand we're not going to get everything, we're going to get Greenland, but we're not going to actually own it with the deed.
Right.
Come on. I mean, look, is he the first guy to ever suggest we should have Greenland? No, he's not. I mean, so there's that side, and my always bitch about the media, it's like, you never read the whole story in either organ. You have to read something from both sides to get the full story.
Right.
So, I never read read in the leftist press that, no, he's not the first president to even suggest this. Presidents have thought about Greenland before.
Yes.
Okay, but then, of course, it's insane to say we're going to take it by force. That was crazy. But, Greenland, is it the craziest idea anybody has ever had? No. And could it be super valuable? Yes. Is it worth, making the whole world hate us? No. Again, there's always just a middle ground, even on something like Greenland, which, by the way, before he came along, I had never been thinking about.
No, I agree. He does.
But maybe we should have. Maybe we should have. That's also should be on the table. Maybe we should have.
I agree. I don't know if there's a, I don't, Trump has, well, he has bunches of different ideas. He has, let's make Canada the 51st state, but I think he's just talking. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that he really thinks that. Then he has stuff like, let's move the embassy from Tel Aviv to, wherever in Israel. Jerusalem.
Which every president had on his desk. They just pocket vetoed it for administration after administration. It always should have happened, and he did it.
Right.
I make no apologies for giving him complete credit for doing the right thing that everybody said they were going to do, and then they didn't have the balls to do.
But the left said the Middle East is going to be on fire if you do it, and then he did it, and nothing happens. Right. So
it's been the Jewish capital since 1000 A.D., 1000 B.C.
Right. So there's the stuff he does do that everyone says is never going to work, but it does. And then there's the stuff he doesn't do that he probably never was going to do. But most interestingly enough, I guess with Trump, is he brings up a lot of stuff where you go, I never thought of that. I never thought about Greenland.
I always call him President, I've got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
There's just not anything he surveys that he doesn't think he can fix, whether it's the ballroom, the lack of at the White House, which, by the way, I don't give a shit about either way, or the Kennedy Center, or NATO, or Greenland, or, credit card rates are too high.
No, but he does do a thing, like sometimes when he goes, why don't we take Palestine and make it into a golf resort and have beautiful, it'll be like Miami Beach, And I go, everyone's first impulse is, this is outrageous. And then the next one is like, I don't know. Maybe there's something there.
Of course, he's always over the top, the way he describes anything. But the idea that Gaza could have always been Abu Dhabi, which is not a golf resort, but which is a very successful Western, shall we say, influenced culture, still a Middle Eastern country, obviously, that is rich and doing well, and the citizens are prospering. Other people have said that for decades. Gaza could have been that. Israel gave it back. It wasn't a negotiation. It was like, okay, you know what? You take it. And what did they do? They imported missiles from Iran and built tunnels and did nothing but try to destroy Israel. That's what they did with their independence.
Right.
That is not the fault of Zionists or anybody else in the world but them.
Yes.
That's what they did from 2005 when they had it all to their own. They could have made it Abu Dhabi. No, it shouldn't be Miami Beach either. Look, Miami Beach itself is too much for me. I once thought about moving to Miami Beach when the pollution here got so bad I couldn't see the sun for a week, but I pulled back. Miami is crazy.
No, I get it. They created what they're living in, and I don't know why that's so controversial. I don't know why we are so
because
energized with that.
I have a list of like 30 important things that Trump has done in the first year that I'm against and that I do not like. But his idea, his just sort of macro 30,000 feet idea that Western civilization is the civilization we should defend, and that it is under attack, and that Israel is the front line in that fight, is right.
Yes.
And I am aligned with that point of view. Does he carry it out the way I would like? No, he carries nothing out the way I would like. But I can't deny that that's the truth, too. Western civilization, I believe in it.
Yes.
The elements of it that everyone in this country, not everyone, but lots of people just take for granted your free speech and your right to wear what you want and be who you want and love who you want. This is not everywhere in the world. And this civilization that you seem to want to promote to this status of being the downtrodden people who deserve our most heartfelt sympathy, well, that's also the civilization that is most oppressive to women and gay people and other people that are sort of important to your coalition, I thought.